To you, man, I am here early today. And I'm here early because I get to go back to Enterprise, to Coppinville. And you know what we're going to start doing today? Removing the tabs. They have learned their strumming. They have done great. I tell you, I've had been more hands-on with this class than I have any class. And I want to just praise Coach Colby Jordan. Listen, this guy stood up, raised his hand when other people would not, and volunteered to teach this guitar class. Kids wanted to learn guitar. Chord Buddy obviously has the best way to learn guitar, and nobody would teach it. And so Kobe Jordan, who is a coach, he's Coach Jordan, said, "I'll do it." So I really appreciate him for doing that, and I know the kids will and do and will remember and appreciate him the rest of their life. So anyway, I get to go back over there, and I get to run by Dolphin Junior High as well, who also use the Chord Buddy system. And I'm going to take them some picks and some super glue. You know, with anything. I mean, look, this Chord Buddy, look. I can literally twist it like that and it will not break. Now and it goes back perfectly. Look, perfect. Because this is a special resin that we actually helped develop years ago. And people think I'm kidding when they say, "Well, tell me about the resin." I actually can't. It's a top secret resin. It's our own resin. And it's very similar to the windshield of the space shuttle. So, and that's the truth, whether you want to believe it or not. That's why I can't talk about it. It's real close to the glass in the presidential motorcade, the bulletproof glass. It's very similar. So again, that's the truth. I'm not making that up. Anyway, so my point with this, I'm taking her some of these pads right here. See these little black pads? Because listen, as we take them on, take them off, somebody hits it with their fingernail, whatever, they pop off. And we just put it back on with super glue. That's how we attach them to start with. So I've got to run some picks. They need some picks at Dolphin, and some super glue and some pads and some extra booties. Sometimes these will pop off, or a kid will try to pull them off or use them as a spitball or whatever. But anyway, get to go back over there. So I'm excited to see the kids over there. What I want to talk about this morning, real quick, I don't have long because I've got to leave at 8, and it takes me an hour to get there, and I want to prepare a little bit, and so I don't have long, is what I'm saying, because I've got to do some work. But what I want to talk about this morning was major. This is advanced. This is beyond Chord Buddy, okay? But I want to talk about what's the difference between a major 7 and a dominant 7. Okay, a major 7th and dominant 7th. So let me explain it. So here's a regular D chord. Okay, so every key has 7 notes in it. All right, and the 1 and the, or if you want to say 8 notes, 1 and 8's the same, just an octave apart. Same note, just an octave, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and it starts over again. So in a scale, so if we start with a C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So the B note is the 7th note of the scale. So that's called the major 7th. Okay, so we're talking about a D chord. So let's do it with D. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Y'all remember that? So that's the D scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is that note? That is a C sharp. Okay, that's a C sharp. So a C sharp, that is the natural 7th note of the scale. So if we're playing a D, here's a C sharp, that's a C sharp, here's a D. That's the note we want to add into the chord. How would we do that? The easiest way, since we got to back this up, we want to keep the other notes the same, which is those, right? Just lay your finger across those 3 strings. And don't that make a beautiful sounding chord? Great sounding chord. So we've got a D. To make a D major 7th, we're backing up here, keeping the other 2 notes the same. So to do that, now you could just pull it in there, but that gets 3 fingers in 1 fret. It's pretty crowded. So just go to here. See, I'm barring 1, 2, and 3. And I'm strumming from 4 down. If you catch 5, the A string, see, it's okay. But don't do the top one. That don't work, okay? So that's a major 7th. That's a major 7th. Most of the time when we're talking about 7ths, we're talking the dominant 7th. That's what I talked about yesterday. Man, my mouth is dry. Mostly in country and blues, especially in Southern gospel and all that, you don't use a major 7th a whole lot. Now, there's an Alabama song that I'm going to use for an example that uses the regular D, the major chord D. It uses the 7th, the major 7th, and it uses the dominant 7th, which I'm going to explain right now. But now in jazz, you do use a lot of major 7ths and diminished. Oh, somebody's on the railroad track. The house is on fire. But anyway, so we've got the D, got the D7. Let me put this a little better so you can see it, especially when I okay. And then now to the major 7th, dominant 7th, dominant 7th. So in essence, the note that we're moving, this is the D chord, okay? The note we're moving that changes from a D to a major 7th to a dominant 7th is this note here. Okay, so it goes from a D to a C sharp. That's the 7th that naturally falls in the D scale. And then the C note is the flatted 7th. This is the note that naturally falls in the scale. And so to make a dominant 7th that we primarily use in country and blues and that, you flat it. So to flat it means you back it up 1 fret. To sharpen it, you would go forward 1 fret. To flatten it, to flatten it, you back it up 1 fret. So if we go back to D major 7th, and now the D7. Okay, now the song that I'm going to demonstrate this with is My Home's in Alabama by the group Alabama, from Alabama, which we're from, the great state that God has smiled on, Alabama. And by the way, Tommy Tupperville will probably be our next governor. And man, I'm looking forward to that. Okay. So here we go. Drinking was forbidden. And then you go to major 7th. In my Christian country home. Then to the major 7th. Dominant 7th. I learned to play the flat top on them good old gospel songs. Then I learned about the bar rooms just across the Georgia line, where a boy could make a living playing guitar late at night. So let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. That's why I forgot the blame words. But anyway, the chorus is, drinking was forbidden. Drinking was forbidden in my Christian country home. I learned to play the flat top on them good old gospel songs. A lot of truth in that, isn't there? Drinking is forbidden in most good old Southern Baptist homes, but sadly, a lot of it goes on and went on. It did in my house. I drank. God, I drank alcohol for years. Slipped around and drank, and didn't want people to know that I drank. But my father, Buddy, was a severe alcoholic, and but he really worked on it. He didn't want to drink anymore, and he worked on it a lot. My brother Trammell, who's in the Elba nursing home now, he's been alcoholic his whole life. He's off of it now because he has to be off of it. He's in a nursing home, so they won't let him drink. But it slipped up on me. I socially drank for years because I played in the band, and you just have a drink, and but it just slips up on you. It's the devil like that. It's like that old joke. That's so much truth in it, and I'm going to tell it. I've got to do some work. Then I get to go to Enterprise. But this old drunk, he's holding this bottle of whiskey, and he looks at that bottle of whiskey and he says, "Whiskey, you've cost me everything, whiskey. Whiskey, you cost me my life. You cost me my family, whiskey. My wife has left me. My kids won't speak to me, whiskey." And he's holding that bottle, half drinking, And he said, my neighbors won't shun me. I'm nothing but a drunk. Lost my job. I'm going to probably lose my home. And it's all your fault, whiskey. Every bit of it is your fault, whiskey. And today's the day, whiskey. I'm changing my life. I'm throwing you away, whiskey. Today's the day I'm throwing you away for good. And he rears back and he goes, "What? What did you say? Did you say you were sorry?" Oh, a lot of truth in that. You know it's killing you. You want to throw it away, and then whiskey speaks to you, and he says, "I'm sorry. I didn't know it messed you up that bad. I'll try to do better." Funny story, but a lot of truth in it. Anyway, have a good Thursday. I'll see you. I'll see you in the morning, but it won't be as early. All right.